Namaskaram. Welcome to the Navaratri special Raga Parichayam episode. Today, we are going to talk about the famous raga Naatta, also known as Naattai. Through a brief raga lapana, let us see how Naatta looks like or sounds like. When you heard this raga lapana, I am sure that most of you might have recollected 3 or 4 film songs or carnatic kritis. For example, the famous kriti Mahaganapatim Manasa Smarami, or this one Swaminatha Paripalaya Shumam. The famous Tyagaraja Pancharatna kriti Jagadananda Karaka. How about some film songs? In Malayalam, we have these famous ones. Shri Ramanamam Japasara Sagaram, or Gopangane Atmavile Swaramuralil Urugum Sarangail Palolumen Varamangala Galige. Then there is also this famous devotional song Vigneshwara Janma Nalikeram Ninde Trakal Kaludakkuvan Vannu. So what kind of bhava does Naatta evoke? It is the Veera Rasam. It gives lot of energy and power. It's also an auspicious raga. Maybe because of these reasons, Naatta is used as the beginning raga in many concerts. There are a lot of kritis about Lord Ganesha or Ganapati in the raga Naatta, one of which I already sang before, which is the Mahaganapati Manasa. What are the swaras used in Naatta? Sa Shadjam, Re, Shad Shruthi Rishabham, which is Re 3, Ga, Antaragandharam, which is Ga 3, Ma, Shuddha Madhyamam, Pa, Panchamam, Dha, Shad Shruti Dhaivatam, Dha 3, Ni, Kakali Nishadam, Ni 3. Let us look at some of these swaras in detail. The first swara that I would like to talk about is Re 3. Re 3 is same as the Gandharam of the raga Hindolam, which has the Gandhara G2, Gandhara 2. As many of you might know, there is this 12 Swarasthana system or the 16 Swarasthana system, Dwadasha versus Shodasha. In the Shodasha Swarasthana system, there are 3 Ris, 3 Rishabhas, out of which the third Rishabha is equivalent to the second Gandhara. Similarly, the Dhaivatam 3, Dha 3 is equivalent to the second Nishadam Ni 2. That is, Shadshruti Rishabham is equal to Sadharana Gandharam and Shadshruti Dhaivatam is equal to Kaishiki Nishadam. Here is where I would like to step in and talk about a Vivadi Raga. As the name suggests, Vivadi, meaning there is no harmony between the notes. Like I've told before, there are 12 swarasthanas in Indian music when referring to the Dwadasha Swara system. If the R2, the Reed 2 overlaps with the Gandhara 1, or if Reed 3 overlaps with the Gandhara 2, like we have in Natta here, or similarly if Dha 2 overlaps with Ni 1, or Dha 3 overlaps with Ni 2, like we have in Natta, those ragas which consist of these swaras, those are called Vivadi ragas. What is the Arohana Avarohana of this raga? Sa re ga ma pa ni sa sa ni pa ma ga ma re sa. When I spoke about the Natta swaras earlier, I mentioned the swara D3, Dhaivatam 3, which I did not sing in the Arohana Avarohana scale right now. The reason is, the Natta that we sing these days is quite different from the Natta which was formed years ago. Natta is a raga which was formed even before the Arohana Avarohana systems were in place. The 72 Melakarta raga structure that we all talk about these days, as well as the Arohana Avarohana scales of each raga, they were quite different in the olden days. Even before the swara and raga systems were in place, there were a lot of ragas that used to be sung purely based on the feel. Natta raga falls in that list. When we sing Natta, we don't have to exactly stick to the Arohana Avarohana scale. In fact, that is true for many Janya ragas. The Arohana Avarohana scale would be just a reference or ready reckoner for all these kind of Janya ragas. The strictness in Arohana Avarohana is more applicable to the Melakarta ragas. So coming back to Natta, Natta of the olden days had Padhanisa in the Arohana. Sa re ga ma Padhanisa. But Natta of these days, Sa re ga ma pa ni sa, and very rarely only we hear the note D3 or Dha 3. The famous Kriti Jagadananda Karaka by Tyagaraja Swamigal, that Kriti does not have a D3 itself. There is a famous Varnam, Sarasija Nabha by Sri Parameshwara Bhagavatar. That Varnam distinctly uses the note D3 in the first line of the Pallavi. Sarasija Nabha Mam Pahi. The Mam Pahi will be notated as Reza Ma Reza Ga Ma Padani. In this Varnam, not only in this place, there are other places also where you can listen to the D3. Another usage in Natta is the Sagama Prayoga. Even though the Arohana says Sarigama, there are Kritis which say Sagama, Sagama Pa. Even in Jagadananda Karaka, Pani Pani Pa Ma Ma Pa Ma Pa Maga Ga Maga Maga Sani Sagama Pa. That's one of the famous swaras in Jagadananda Karaka. The most important swara of Natta is the Rishabham R3, Re3. Sare. Even though I told that the R3 is equivalent to the Gandharam of Hindolam, Ga2, the way you have to sing R3 is with lot of Kampita Gamaka, and it has to be sung slowly as well. Re. Kampita Gamaka means you are shaking the note, and it has to start from the lower note Sa. Sari, Re. Because of this reason, it is very difficult, almost impossible to play Natta on a harmonium or a keyboard. I think maybe on the latest keyboards, the technology is allowing people to use gamakas like na. You can actually shake a note in the latest keyboards. Another feature of Natta is, if you refer the Sangeeta Sampradaya Pradarshani book by late Subbarama Dikshitar, the grandson of Muthuswami Dikshitar, it is mentioned that Swaminatha Paripalaya Shumam is composed in the raga Chala Natta. The name is not Natta, it is Chala Natta there. And according to Muthuswami Dikshitar's school of music, he followed the Venkatamakhi system of naming ragas or numbering the ragas according to Melakartas. Charanata or Naatta is a Sampurna Raga. It is also interesting to observe that there is no Gamarisa in the Kriti. It's always Pamaresa. The Gamarisa usage became popular only after the 19th century. I'm going to sing 3 songs. Try to identify those ragas and let me know the raga names through your comments. We will discuss those songs and these ragas in the upcoming videos. மெட்டியொலி காற்றோடு என் நெஞ்சை தாலாட்ட மேனியொரு பூவாக மெல்லிசையின் பாவாக மேனியொரு பூவாக மெல்லிசையின் பாவாக கோதை மலர் பூம்பாதம் വാവെണ്ണുതേ ആലുവ പുഴക്കരയൊരു പൊന്നമ്പലം അവിടത്തെ കൃഷ്ണനു രത്നകിരീടം ആലുവ പുഴക്കിക്കര കല്ലമ്പലം ഒരു കല്ലമ്പലം അവിടത്തെ കൃഷ്ണനു പുഷ്പകിരീടം പപ്പ മഗ മഗമ പപ്പ മഗ മഗമ പപ്പ സനി പമഗ സ മാമ മാമ മഗ സ സ സ സ ഗ സ നി 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 സ സ സ ഗമ പ മ പ നി പ നി സ നി സ നി പ മ പ മഗ ഗമ പ മ പ നി പ നി സ. The Raga Parichayam video ends here. Thank you and goodbye until we meet next time with a new raga.